timelines, um, ignites recognition, and calls the right souls home. So let's go over 7 things a story spell needs to be effective. The first one is, so I want you to think of your story as spell work, right? Whether you're crafting a spell or a story, the principles of effective enchantment are the same. So the core factors that make a story spell work in soul-led communications start with clear intention, just like any spell, right? It starts with that focused will. What do I want my story to do? Who am I calling in? What am I calling in? And what am I shifting in my reader or listener? Okay. The second pillar is personal resonance. So that is truth. Your story spell has to feel true to you. If it feels hollow, borrowed, or inauthentic, it's going to fizzle. So just like with any other kind of spell work, the magic lives in that meaning, not just the words or materials that we use. So your story has to be yours. It needs to feel raw and real and not polished beyond recognition. Okay. And you're weaving this spell to connect with people. Okay. So pillar number 3 is symbolic correspondence. So when we are crafting a spell, we're using tools, ingredients, colors, moon phases, symbols that correspond to the desired outcome. Those are energetic matches to what you want to accomplish with the spell, right? So in our messaging, our tools are metaphor, imagery, story, things like that. It's why you say I was in the dark instead of I was confused. Symbolic language is more sensory, it's more emotive, and it's more magical. So that means it's going to be more memorable. Pillar number 4 is emotional charge. And this is the fuel for both your ideal client to urge them to seek a solution to their struggle, and for you as the story spellcaster, whether that's grief, longing, rage, devotion, that's what gives your story spell momentum. So we have to have that emotional charge. And as we're writing those stories, it's really important to ask ourselves if we can feel it working, right? And our ideal client needs to feel something as well, not just understand it, but ache, gasp, laugh, remember. Okay. But important safety tip here. When we speak to desire, fear, or identity, we are working with power. And power without clarity and empathy creates distortion and even manipulation. So with great power comes great responsibility. People work ethically when it comes to using emotion in your story spells. Pillar number 5 is energetic alignment. So your energy as a spellcaster has to match the spell's purpose for it to be effective. If you cast a love spell, but you doubt your own worth, it's going to clash, right? The energy doesn't match. If you tell a story about freedom, but your energy screams burnout, the message is not going to land. So this is why healing and storytelling are so intertwined and enmeshed. The story has to be cast with and from integration. Pillar number 6, words of power. So spells are spoken, sung, whispered, declared into being, right? The language we use for spell work is often poetic, rhythmic, charged with emotion. And it's really helpful to think about our high converting sales copy and sales language as spellcraft. Okay. So we're going to use things like repetition, rhythm, alliteration, incantation, and most powerful of all, truth. All of that applies in sales copy, just like it does when you're weaving any other type of spell. And the last pillar of story spelling is release and trust. A spell cannot work while you're clinging to it, right? You have to let go and trust the process. This is why we often burn something during spell work, because we're going to give it to the universe and trust that process. So your story doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to resonate. And then you have to release it into the world. And this is where we often get stuck and we get in our heads, right? Is that releasing it into the world piece. And sometimes that is because we don't trust our spell enough to release it into the world. So we need to kind of take that leap of faith and get it out there. Okay. Just Thank you so much. So I learned the slides. I learned from Evelyn last night that she used Notebook LM for her gorgeous slides, and I was like, I am going to. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to redo my slides. Katya was laughing at me. She's like, "Stop it, go to bed." No, I needed to have really great slides, and they were that had like it was totally worth the lost sleep. And I will give Katya the link to this to put into my classroom in the my course in the classroom so that you have the slides after the presentation. Okay, so let's talk about the transformation thread, the specific story spell that we're going to weave today. This is the origin story of your unique approach to overcoming the problem that you solve for your ideal clients. It's how you found your framework, the thing that makes you unique. So this story is an invisible thread that connects who you were, who you became, and who your ideal client is becoming now. It mirrors the seeker's inner world, names the problem without shame, and shows them that transformation is possible. Your story becomes magic when it includes a before that describes the stuck places, the peaks, the valleys, the roller coaster that they've been on, the things that they've tried that haven't worked and why they haven't worked. And then the stuck place, which is where they are right now when they are coming to find a solution to this problem. That becomes the mirror, the tipping point. Like, this isn't working. There has to be a better way. This is the like long dark night of the soul. And then there is the epiphany. And this is where you broke through the stuck point that your ideal client is at right now, and discovered the big solution that worked when nothing else had. It is the moment that everything shifts. And then after is the desired outcomes that your ideal client is looking for, that you were able to produce for yourself after having this epiphany and developing this unique method. And it is, when I started doing this, this started happening and this started happening, and I started to be able to do this and this. And then we have the deepest, most desperate desire of their heart, the meaning behind it, what that makes possible. The best part is, now that I have these desired outcomes, now that I have this solved, I'm able to, and that's something they didn't believe was possible in their lives. Okay, so we're opening possibility for our ideal clients. We're moving them from impossible to possible. So the old story was full of shame, blame, guilt, self-critique. But when they see their story told through your eyes, they're able to remove that shame, blame, and guilt, because we're able to give other people more grace than we're able to give ourselves, always, right? So when they see that and they're giving you grace for the things that they have been thinking were wrong with them, that shame softens, the curiosity starts returning, and now they can really like see the solution and open to the solution. Okay. So I want to give you an example. So this is my story, my transformation story. And I'm going to read it because writer. So here's my story. Before this clicked for me, I was a really good copywriter and deeply bored. I was writing sales pages for clients that technically worked. They followed proven frameworks, they hit the pain points, they checked every box and met or beat industry standards for conversion. And they all sounded the same. I bought the templates, I used the early AI tools, I went through copy school, certifications, master marketing programs, all of it. At one point, I could literally talk you through a sales page from memory because the structure was so ingrained. And that was the problem. It was formulaic. It was boring to write. And if it was boring to me, I knew it was boring and, worst of all, forgettable to the people reading it. I knew if I used more aggressive tactics, I could make the copy land, but that didn't feel right and it didn't feel safe. And it definitely didn't feel like the depth of the work my clients were actually doing. There was a moment when I honestly thought, if this is what copywriting is, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And here's the strange part. Whenever I got stuck, I would step away and go read fiction. And I noticed something. When I was reading a story, my whole body would engage. My mind stopped looping. I was immersed. And I remember thinking, I wish my copy could feel like this. And that's when it hit me. Humans don't make meaning through bullet points. We make meaning through story. This is how we've learned for thousands of years. And neurologically, when we read a story, our brains don't just process information, they experience it. So I started weaving story into my sales copy. Not just more testimonials or case studies, but transformation stories, especially my clients' stories and their own journeys. And it worked. Conversion rates went up, engagement went up. I wrote my first 7-figure funnel using this approach. But what really mattered was what I noticed next. There was one moment on every high-performing sales page where the buying decision was actually made. Not when the offer was introduced, not when the bonuses were listed. It happened right before the offer introduction, in the moment where the business owner told their own story in a way that mirrored exactly where their ideal client was stuck. Because when someone sees their story told through someone else's eyes, it removes shame, it makes a deep connection, and it sparks possibility. When someone sees themselves in your story, they stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "What if this is actually solvable?" That realization changed everything for me. Writing became faster, work became joyful again, and my clients didn't just convert, they felt seen. By the time I wrote my second 7-figure funnel, I knew this wasn't just a technique, it was the missing piece. And I also knew if this was possible for me, it was possible for other soulful business owners whose work mattered deeply but wasn't landing yet. Can you see how powerful that story is in generating interest in whatever offer I'm about to sell you around this framework, right? It is such a powerful moment. So the buying decision doesn't happen when it's like, here's the offer, here's all the things inside. It's that moment when we get to, I knew that if it was possible for me, it was possible for other people whose work mattered deeply. I needed to make it available to them. By that point, people are like, how do I pay you? They're running to the freezer to defrost the credit card, right? No matter what I'm going to sell you, now you're invested in that solution because you believe it's possible for you. Okay. It is a super, super powerful framework. So, who would like to use their own, to write their own story using this process? I would love for us to do some implementation right now. So, if you have a deck with you, you can go ahead and pull a card, or you can just let this question be your card. The question that we want to ask ourselves is, what moment in my journey holds medicine for my future clients? Right? What moment in my journey holds medicine for my future clients? So as you are thinking about this, and I'd love for you to journal on it for, I'll set a timer for like 3 minutes. I'd love for you to be thinking about some reflection prompts. So where was I before this moment? What solution presented itself to me? Who would recognize themselves in this specific struggle? And then what became possible for me after I solved the problem. Okay. Um, so let me, and the one that's not on here, that I want to include is, what did I try that wasn't working anymore for me? Because that piece is a trust builder. When people see that you have tried the things that they've tried, they know that they trust your expertise because you've been on this journey, right? So I am going to go ahead and set a timer for 3 minutes. Where's my timer? And let's go ahead and work on this question. And I'm going to pull a card myself, which means I have to grab my deck. And I am using Deborah Blake's Everyday Witch Tarot. About 30 seconds left. Okay. How did that go for you? I'd love for you to put in the chat if you feel called to do so. What came up for you? What story could you be telling that's going to hold medicine for your future clients? And while you're thinking about that, I pulled the Six of Swords, which I don't know, it's the glare from my window, which to me always has such like get the fuck out and help other people get out with you energy for me. So there's a lot that I could weave into a story with that. Getting out of stuck places, getting out of a 9 to 5 job that's killing your soul. What's coming up for you? What what card did you pull and what's coming up for you? Nikki says, at first I thought the medicine was different than when I thought about what I tried and why it didn't work. Okay. And then how did that shift as you started thinking about it? Rain says, from trying to make myself small and feeling I didn't deserve attention and learning to listen to myself and being happier. The card was in the world, not of the world. Oh, Sacred Rebels deck. Beautiful. Yeah, so good. Milana says, willing release from Oracle of Seven energies, letting go of controlling the prices and the outcome and the things that don't serve. Beautiful. And, that is something that we hear from business coaches all the time. And it's so much easier said than done, right? So telling that story of how you were able to break through being stuck around that is super important and helpful for your future clients, for your ideal clients, for your current members to hear, because now they can believe that it's possible for them too. Kamisha, I pulled the completion card and I thought about the crunchiness I kept feeling when not aligning with my truth. Oh my gosh, yes. Once I said yes, all amazing opportunities showed up, and I knew I just had to keep saying yes. Oh, I love that so much. Fernando, I was working with a deity to unblock my throat chakra, so I did ritual. That night I was being undermined and I absolutely could not stay quiet. I felt such relief. Beautiful. Okay, Nikki says, I realized that why it didn't work is exactly what helps the medicine and not the moment in my journey so much, because that's what they can learn from me. Yes. So beautiful, you guys. I love these so much. So, what we're going to do now with all of this great thinking and journaling is we're going to turn that into a story spell that has a here's where I am now, right? The desired state, the place that they want to be, right? You are where they want to be when they're finished working with you. So, here's where I am now. But it wasn't always this way. Permission to own that struggle. I see you, I've been here too. And this is where we talk through the journey. I started to see some success and then it broke. I started my business and I started to get some initial success. And then I was diagnosed with a chronic illness and all my energy just dropped off and I had chronic brain fog and all of those kinds of things. Um, then here's the moment that it clicked, how I could solve this problem. So we talked through the ups and downs, the things that we tried that didn't work, and give kind of some reasons why it didn't work. Here's when it clicked. Here's what's possible now, and here's how I help you walk it. Okay, the invitation that has to do with your unique value proposition, your unique method. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that story that we've been journaling on and thinking through, and we're going to use AI to help us find the patterns and catalyze this and translate it. Okay. So we're going to strip away the marketing performance, keep our human voice. There is so much power when you speak it, right? So I love to do a talk it through brain dump. I use Loom to record, but you could use any voice recording software. You could use the recording software function inside of ChatGPT. My internet tends to be a little glitchy here, so it will sometimes lose it, which frustrates the heck out of me when I've just finished a 5-minute recording and then ChatGPT, it just disappears. So that's why I use Loom. And I also like to keep the transcripts. But you absolutely could use ChatGPT if that function works reliably for you. So we're going to talk it through, just like word vomit the whole story. And then you're going to use a prompt to help you, to help ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using, turn that into your story. Okay. And here is the prompt. And Katya, can you drop the link to the prompt in? Thank you so much. In the chat. Beautiful. I'm just going to kind of look through here. The act of doing and pushing all the buttons was so freeing for me. Beautiful. There's a realization that I wouldn't break anything on the internet or AI tools. This, that, yes. So much yes. And not just with tools. Like the reality is most decisions can be reversed. And so just knowing that like there's more safety there than we think. Beautiful, Belle. I am so happy. Training after training. More than university to grant training is not safe. Yeah. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So much. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a brain dump. Then we're going to use this prompt here, and you're going to, right here where it says paste your notes or brain dump transcript here, you're going to put it there in the prompt. Like once you get it into ChatGPT, you could use Claude, you could use Perplexity, and then it's going to turn that into a story for you. And how much time do we want to leave for Q&A, Katya? We could try doing this now.
Anytime you want, you just do with your own flow. Normally we leave about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. So who would like to do this right now? If I set a timer for 5 minutes and you just do a little, like this doesn't have to be the final story, but just do a little brain dump into ChatGPT and give it a shot with this prompt. Does anyone want to do that now? Or we can go almost straight into ChatGPT or straight into Q&A. I have a little bit more. Okay, Rhonda says she wants to do it later, when you have time to think about it and really kind of pull a card and be intentional. Cool, cool. All right. Well, in that case, later. Yeah, okay. Yes. And I love that that this is the response, because again, that spell work has to start with intention. So I would set the atmosphere, light a candle, some Palo Santo, open the circle, pull a card, sit with it, really brain dump everything that you can think of, and then use this prompt to turn it into a story. And I would love, love, love if you would post all or part of your story in the Oracle Cards Magic Summit community, because those stories are so powerful. Okay, so we have the prompts. Rushing feels performative. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so if this feels different, that's good. It's because it's working. It feels very distinct from traditional marketing training. And that's not on an accident. That's on purpose, because we've located the moment that matters. And this is the part that most people skip, not because it isn't powerful, but because it is so hard to do alone. You're moving from convincing to enchanting. And tell me which feels heavier to you, convincing or enchanting? I'm going to bet you're like me, and convincing feels really heavy. And we've been trying to like push and pull against convincing all this time with our marketing. And when we can move to enchanting, that feels so much lighter, right? We are magical beings. We're magical AF. Every single person in this community is magical AF. And the ritual and the openness to source and to our guides and to our deities that we're working with aids us in that moment of enchantment. Okay. So if it feels hard to do alone, I would love to give you one more place that you can come to get that help, to be with other people who are doing the same thing. This is my community on School, the Kind Copy Movement. There is a free tier. It's a community of over 900 soulful creators and intuitives and beautiful people. It's the home of the Brand Voice Clarity Quest, which I am moving into the free tier. It has been a paid thing. I'm moving it into the free tier. It is going to become my 7-day challenge, but you will be able to access that as of later today. There is a monthly Q&A call inside the free tier, and you have access to all of that, like 900 plus people hive mind for feedback. You have me in the community. You have Katya is in that community. I have some really amazing VIP members in that community who are so helpful. Then there is also a premium tier, and that is $27 a month only. You can get more hands-on support in there. So we have weekly copy office hours. We have, well, except for my CEO week, right? We have twice a month co-working. You can submit your copy for a video copy review from me. A whole bunch of things. There's more inside the premium tier. So your story is the magic. It is time to release it. Whether you come and do that in the Kind Copy Movement with me, or you do it on your own with your guides, or in other spaces, I want you to get your story out there, because this spell is so incredibly powerful. And it is the thing that restores the energetic balance and makes selling easy and effortless and feel good. Okay. So, that is it. That's the presentation. So let's do some Q&A. Who has questions? What's the name of my community, please, on School? It is called the Kind Copy Movement. And Katya is going to drop a link in the chat.
Yes,
and it will be her affiliate link, because I want Katya to get credit for bringing all you amazing people into my world. Casey says, just want to say I came in from shoveling snow while I listened, but this is definitely the live session I needed to hear most today. Oh, I'm so glad. Being still at the dream and vision portion of my journey into spiritual service and how best to open and share my gifts, even though I don't want to lean too heavily on AI. Yes. And this is where, like, AI is your alchemical assistant. It is not running the show. So we want to use the prompt intentionally and with that big brain dump, so that it gets your voice. The power in your voice is what is running the show. And if you have a brand voice guide that you can drop in there with it, it will use your brand voice as it is writing this story. And I think I may have a GPT in the brand voice AI blueprint that is my speaker gift. And if not, I'm certain I have it in the community, in the Kind Copy Movement, to help you develop that brand voice guide, okay? So that you can add that, and then your voice is what's running the show. Super, super important point. Very good. Looking forward to approaching my business through this personal story and spellcasting lens. We'll be listening to the replay and diving in more deeply. Beautiful. Thank you. I love that. Oh, thanks, Rhonda. Rhonda is an annual member in the Kind Copy Movement. I appreciate that. Yeah, the hive mind is amazing in there. Yes. Okay, and I am happy to take any questions.
I want to pause just for 1 second because it's at my time 11:11, so it's perfect timing to start taking questions. So First of all, let's just give Jen like some energy here before she starts to ask answering questions. Or maybe you need to give energy to me. So just drop few emojis here, and if you're asking the questions, put them in Q&A. I already see one, so we'll start answering those ones. And thank you for putting them in Q&A at the bottom because it's so much easier for us to find them. Okay. So much easier. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Love
Dawn,
those
are those
emojis.
maracas? That's fantastic.
I love it. Yes, look at
Woohoo.
this. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. Okay, so we have question from Belle. Could you please speak to using Loom? I know of it, but I don't understand well why it's easier or better to use than ChatGPT chats. Does it allow me to keep an easier hold on long content created, easier to copy and paste or file away? Thank you. Is Loom free?
Uh, I don't, is Loom free? I don't even know if they have a free. Let me look.
They do have a free, and I think they only allow you about 25 videos on a free
Oh, free
version.
version.
Yeah, but I don't know the pricing from there.
Pricing. Okay, Scribe is going to try and hijack Loom pricing. All right, their starter plan gives you up to 25 videos. And 5-minute screen recording. So you probably you could start with Loom and see if you love it. And then if you love it, for me, it is such a valuable part of what I do. I use it every single day, multiple times a day. So something to think about. But the starter plan, like the business plan, once you get past what the starter plan will give you, you run out of videos, the business plan will give you everything you need for now. You would only want the AI plan if you want to like be able to replace like people's names in a video or use those AI kind of enhancements and things like that. So what you would do with Loom. So if I have my prompt here, here's the structure that I want to talk through in my brain dump. I have the Loom Chrome extension installed. So I would just click the little Chrome extension and it will say, okay, do you want to record a current tab? Do you want to record the whole window, full screen? I usually just record the current tab. And current tab will allow you to record the audio that's on that tab as well. That's, I think, the only one that allows you to record audio from a tab. And you can have your camera on, you can have, no camera, you can have your avatar. You can make this bigger, you can make it full screen. This, like, it looks like just huge, but it's actually your whole screen. It's not going to share the screen anymore. So then you just hit start recording. So it'll give me a little countdown. Okay, so I am thinking about the card that I pulled, the Six of Swords, which for me is talking about getting out of a place that is stuck, that I have felt like it's my comfort zone. It's not comfortable, but it's the devil I know, and it's time to get out and to bring others with me. So where I am now is I have escaped. I have gotten past the stuck point. I am successful and happy in a business that feels light and easy, and I no longer feel the heaviness of the place that I was stuck. But it wasn't always that way. I was stuck in that 9-to-5 job for almost 2 decades, and I tried starting a blog, and I tried starting a so you can kind of see the like process I'm going through here. Then I'm just going to hit stop, and it is going to open. Are we still seeing the Loom? We've got the Loom video now. Okay. So it's going to give me a video. So this is a great way, like if you have clients where you need to do a review of something for them, or you want to like, for Katya and I often will, for our mastermind members, will be reviewing their ads manager, so they can record a Loom showing us their ad stats in their ad campaign, so we can see what's performing and what's underperforming, all of that stuff. Or I will do copy reviews for my clients, and I'll walk through their sales page and show them, what I would change and what the recommendations that I have. So Once I have this, all I have to do is click transcript, copy, and then go dump it into ChatGPT. And it's here like forever. So I use this not just for this kind of stuff, but also for like when I'm trying to process some things. I use it extensively for shadow work because we can speak much faster than we can type. And when we type, we self-edit. Like it is impossible to not self-edit when you type. Whereas when you're speaking, you get all of the ums and the, do I really want to say that? No, I think I want to say it this way, like that kind of thing. That we don't get when we type because we're editing all of that stuff out. So you get more of the raw, real reaction in the moment thoughts. And this is why I like recording, voice recording. And so this way, I have the transcripts. I can save them if I want. Like I have a record of my journey. But also like with my glitchy internet, it's gonna be maddening for me if I record a 5 to 10 minute voice recording inside of ChatGPT and the internet glitches partway through and it just disappears because I'm never going to get that back, those thoughts in that moment. So that's why I like Loom. That was a long way of describing that. But it kind of the demo, like if you've never used Loom before, I think it is helpful to have a little bit of a demo. Happy to do that. Good. I'm so glad you're learning so much. Yeah, it does. It really, really sucks every time. Every time I'm like, why do I do this? I know it's going to happen. All right. What other questions do we have, Katya?
I think that was pretty much the same question from
Yep.
Casey. Do you have a good suggestion for where we can learn the basics of Loom and how we can use it? It's so simple, really. Jen just gave you the basics. You just click the button and you start recording. And as long as it's just super, super simple, it's so user friendly. And funny story that I would tell Jen, oh, my GPT never, drops my recording. And we were in one of the sessions, like our accountability sessions together, and mine did not record 5 minutes of my blurb. Yeah, so it happens all the time.
Yeah.
To best of us. Yeah. Okay, we have another question.
Yeah, it is really user friendly for sure.
Yeah.
I've been using it for, oh wow, at least 5 years, maybe more. I want to say. I tried Screencastify first, because I was, it was one of the things that the teachers at the school where I was working were using, and it felt clunky. But Loom just really feels easy.
Yeah,
As a channeler who
fantastic.
loves audio recording, it sounds like it will fall in love with Loom. Yes, you 100% will, Belle. If you're a channeler, this is the tool.
Definitely.
There's
What
nothing worse than getting messages from your guides, and talking them out and then having it just go away.
Amazing, amazing. What other questions? Takes us advantage. Jen opened so much room for questions, so we have another 6 minutes for questions before we'll share gratitude, and I'll share with you where to find everything. Especially we have a few new people here, and for those who've been here for so long, you just relax when I do that. Okay, okay. So what other questions do we have?
So Rain has said, so if you have something local, that works too. Absolutely. If you have clients, they have a stuck point that you're helping them get through. Like they're coming to you to solve a problem. So you can absolutely journal about brain dump about your journey through that.
If you don't have questions, I had a couple of people ask questions before the session, so
Oh,
I'm
for
going to
recording.
share. Okay,
Oh, like
so
local on your computer. Yeah, that would work too. Anything that's going to give you a transcript, you absolutely could use.
yeah, definitely. Um, one of the questions that I had, somebody asked me, so where would I use my story? So I write my story. What do I do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And how does it apply to income? Why would I want to? I know you touched
Mm-hmm.
on that a little bit at the beginning,
Yeah.
but what are the practical ways of using the story?
Yes. Okay. So places you could use your story. You can use your story in social media content, in YouTube content. I use this story every time on a sales page. So I'll get through like so sales page has kind of two parts. After the above the scroll section which is just like, here are the basic details for you people who are like, just give me the button, I want to pay you. Then there's the emotional argument where we walk them through, here's the story, here's where the thing you might be experiencing. Here's why it's not your fault. What if instead you could have XYZ? This is me talking through, remember the formulaic sales page thing? What if instead you could have X, Y, and Z desired outcomes? It's possible. Let me tell you how. And then we launch into our story. And that's where it becomes this personal thing. And then I'm so excited to share with you this offer. Okay. And then the rest of the sales page is all the detail stuff, the logic part of the sales page. So sales pages for sure need to have this story every single time. You could use this story in a webinar. Like that would be a super powerful place to use it in a webinar or workshop. Any place where you need to help free your ideal client of I'm locked in shame, blame, and guilt about this problem and my inability to solve it on my own, right? I'm weak, I can't solve this. Anytime you need to unlock that for them, use this story. And they can, like I said, they can be little mini stories. It could just be like, the Six of Swords was such a meta card for me to pull, right? The story of getting unstuck from feeling stuck, right? So just a little story like that. Oh, I know the cats, all the cats. It is the origin story of your framework. And it is also it's your origin story, and it's your ideal client's origin story for the person they are becoming, right?
And here's one tip for you as well in regards to the framework. This is a goal. Just pay attention what Jen just gave away for you, just being here, absolutely free. You can use this framework even for your social media posts, for some connection and engagement posts. It does not know, absolutely, it's your sales page and everything else. But if you like social media, or even when you're writing Facebook ads, to connect to your person, to really connect to your person. And you can use this framework maybe to turn their story into this framework and tell it as a story as well. So there is so many uses for that. So keep it, use it, implement it, tag Jen, or tag her, or whatever you call it on Instagram, because follow her, and or any other places, right? So use that framework. Okay. I have one more question we're going to take.
Let me just try and find so we can see. I need to find the last brain dump that I did, so that I can show you what happens when you put it into ChatGPT. Bear with me here. All right, well, we'll just use, I'm just going to use the transcript that I did just now. Not chat. What I need is share. So we'll give this a shot. And what I'll need to do is tell Chatty to use the conversations that we've had together as well, because I didn't go through the whole structure. I just went through the first like 1.5. So I'm going to grab the prompt. I'm going to go to a new chat, dump the prompt in. I'm going to come back to Loom, grab the transcript. Here's my raw reflection. It is not complete, so please also use our conversations for reference and context. Okay, and then we have that, and then we have the final Where did I put? Oh, right here. You don't have to space this down. I just wanted to make sure that it was still there because I want to tell it to shape it into a clear, emotionally resonant story suitable for a sales page or a launch email. Or if you're writing a social media post, you could say suitable for a social media post, right? Because that's going to be shorter, while preserving my natural voice and values. And then if you had a brand voice guide, you could, here is my brand voice guide. I'm not going to go find it because I have it pretty well trained. All right, so I'm going to hit go. And below is a polished, emotionally resonant story. So here we are. Here's where I am now. These days, my work feels lighter, not effortless, but clear. I'm no longer carrying that constant background weight, the pressure to prove, push, or contort myself into a version of success that never quite fit. Right. So it talks through here's where I am now. And it's going to talk through, but it wasn't always this way. For a long time, I lived in a place that looked stable from the outside, but felt quietly suffocating on the inside. Right. Then I see you. I've been here too. If you're in that place where you know you're meant for something more, you also feel frozen, tired, or strangely loyal to what isn't working anymore. I see you. If you keep telling yourself I should be further along by now, or other people, like the things that they believe, right? The blame they're putting on themselves. Here's a moment it clicked. The shift didn't come from trying harder or fixing myself. It came when I realized I wasn't stuck because I lacked discipline or clarity. I was stuck because I was trying to build a future from a nervous system that didn't feel safe yet. Like this is pulling from conversations. Like I said, I use Chatty for shadow work, right? So it's going to create the story in the order that the story needs to be in. Does that make sense? So it will be better when you do the whole brain dump and you walk through the whole, this whole structure in your brain dump. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like. Excuse me, but you're telling my story. Yeah, it's a lot of our story. That's why we're all here in Katya's world.
Amazing, amazing. So we have just a couple of minutes left, and I really want Jen now to kind of sit and enjoy all of the gratitude we're going to be sending towards her. So if you can just put it in the comments, and I'm going to read it for her. So tell her, how grateful you are, and also what is the one takeaway? You can put more, but what is it, at least one takeaway that you got from this session? What are you going to implement? Because remember, the summit is all about not just knowledge, but implemented knowledge. We need to take it and implement it. Okay. So I'm already seeing some of the things were coming through. So I'm going to start reading them right here. Okay. And while you put in more in, just put it in the comments. And if you have more questions for Jen, just post it inside community, summit community, and she will be happy to answer it for you. Okay. Fantastic. So I have one here from Milana. This is very helpful. You explain it in a way that it's easy to understand and follow. Yay. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Alice says, I see. Thank you so much. I got it. Ash said, incredibly grateful for the resource and the, oops, okay, I have to go. It jumps at me. Incredibly grateful for the resource and the walkthrough on how to use the resource. I will utilize it for sure in my process, as mentioned with brain dumping and helping to organize ideas for social media. Amazing. And this is how you set intention and commitment. You learn something here. Now you just verbalize it, and I put it out there in the universe as well. So now you're going to commit it to it, and you're going to finish it instead of leaving it unfinished, right? So Rhonda, I will definitely implement your story framework. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so happy I bought the vault so I can keep watching the whatever whenever I need a refresher. You're a true treasure in my life, and I'm so glad to be in your community, Jen. Amazing. Kamisha. No, I thought that I had Kamisha and then it jumped. Jen, this is so amazing, helpful. I didn't even think about using Loom for free writing and channeling. This is a game changer to help build my story and share with my customers. What a blessing. Thank you.
Yay.
Amazing. Bells, this has been so incredible. I didn't realize that this presentation was exactly what I needed. I thought I knew all about writing stories. Haha. This practical demos and also the stunning unique slides makes this so memorable. Thank you. Amazing. Alice, you, Jen, are incredible. What a gift. Thank you for the visual demo. You have provided me with an opening into considering the positive use of ChatGPT that feels natural and supportive. Amazing. Yeah. Um, Bell said you should share in Loom. I record them, so I have all of that. So I do have that, and then I send it to my speakers as well. Casey,
No, no, no.
feeling oh,
What she said was you should have, because we are like evangelizing for it, we should have
oh,
stock.
oh, I see the best. Okay. Oh, I thought I should
And yes, we
share
should.
this one in Loom. Okay, thank you.
That's what
Well,
affiliate marketing is for. For the things that we love so much that we can't help sharing with people.
exactly, exactly. That's why all of you guys are sharing this summit too, and some of the participants are getting affiliates as well, which is awesome to
Yay.
see. Casey, feeling overwhelmed today and every day was a strong calling to do something, but unclear on what to offer because of so many ideas. This story spell approach has really given a map for me to follow to at least take the first steps towards my offers because I know the clarity will come through along the way as I'm living the story.
I love that so much.
I also want to mention something, Casey. You are seeing a lot of speakers, right? You are also watching replays and everything else. I would start to lean into your inner voice, your inner compass, your intuition, and start aligning with people who you want to learn from, right? So we had all different types of personalities. We have all different types of presentation styles, all different skills that they teach in. Find one that truly aligns with you and lock arms with that mentor. Okay. And just focus on that and stay with this mentor at least for 6 months because it's not going to happen immediately. We don't sugarcoat here. We're not bro marketers who will tell you that you will make six figures in 6 days, right? So and all of that stuff. We're telling you like it is. And this is why I love all of the speakers. They're so honest and they bring it in. But just think about who is that you're resonating with and lock alarms. You don't need to do it right now, but just percolate on that, right? So because it's so important to be supported by someone. And before you even do that, also find some accountability body who you can lock arm with as well and grow together.
Yeah. And this is why it's so important to be choosy about the places we give our attention and our focus in terms of things like summits. Like we are all here because Katya is amazing and she attracted incredible people to be speakers in this summit. So we know like all of the speakers in this summit are borrowing your trust in Katya to speak to you. And she was very choosy for that reason about who she allowed to come speak in this summit because she knew, like she's vouching for all of us, right? That we are worth your time and attention and focus. So yeah, finding people that really resonate with you is so huge. And then trying to not like once you commit to someone's method, like stick with the method. Don't just squirrel off because we have all done that, right? We've squirreled off and then it's like, well, their method didn't work. Well, did it not work or did I not work for 6 months on it? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like my launch is not working. I'm not getting any sales, not getting any bites on my offers. What offers? Are you actually talking about the launch? No. Okay. Then it's not the method, it's the effort, right? And I am absolutely not the kind of person who ever wants to blame someone for the method not working just because it's a one size fits all. And I think that someone should be able to get success with my method. I know that there is no such thing as a one size fits all method, marketing model, whatever. But we do have to like give it some attention and time working it through before we abandon it as not working for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to stop there because and spend a little bit more time because it's so important to me. There's 2,300 people on this summit, and you can tell some people are just frantic and they get into this overwhelm. And some people are very intentional. And I really want you, if anything you take from this summit, be intentional where you spend your time right from my first post. I said, choose. You don't need to attend all of it. And if you want, I absolutely love Rain to be here because that's what she has capacity for, and that's amazing. But for some of you, you have businesses and some other stuff, choose. Be choosy. Find the mentors who really align with you. Okay, next one, Leonie. Thank you for this prompt. It has opened a whole new thought pattern for my about how to use my storytelling. Amazing. Fernanda, this is the coolest marketing class I ever seen. Finding your moment really resonated, and now I have my point of origin and a clear path to reaching out to find my people and future clients. Yes, amazing, amazing. Your next step also, Fernanda, is just take that and think about, you don't need to put it here if you don't want to, but think about what are you going to implement? What is your next step? I will be talking more about it in our Get Shit Finished session. So I hope I will see you there. I'll be leading those ones. We have 2 on a calendar. We want to implement it. It's not just here sitting and, collecting digital dust. Bell, she should have stock share. Okay, well, amazing, Casey. Yes, this is actually a great journey. Ash loves the suggestion. Must be patient with our process. The 6 months is a great marker. Casey, thank you so much for all of this wonderful advice and taking to heart. Inspired more than overwhelmed, so very resonant with you. And Jen, thank you, boss. Yes, exactly. Inspired, intention. Go there with intention. Okay, it could be so easy to get overwhelmed. Bell says, what's your human design energy type, Katya? 2-4. I am generator. So this is why I was talking about Hermit was crying and Leo was on stage. So I'm boss, right? So Ash definitely makes sense for being selective and finding people who resonate. Did it not work or did I not work exactly? Yes, exactly. I just want to thank Jan again, just from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful, so blessed to have you in my life and as my business bestie and also as my friend, right? So who we can chat with and we talk like constantly on Messenger and we talk all the time. Somebody who I can send, message that my hermit is crying and Leo is going to be on stage and she'll understand me and don't look at me like, what the heck are you talking about, right? So somebody that we can do spells together if we want to, or card readings, or start our accountability, sessions with pulling the cards and center ourselves, and somebody who understands you. But also, it's so incredible that you are here and given this time for all of our participants. So grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have loved doing this so much. And the late night was totally worth it for the slides, right? Notebook LM. And it was so easy. I dumped the script in and a little prompt about the vibe I wanted for the slides, and it did all of that for me. So
amazing. Now I feel FOMO because I can't play with anything this week, right? So because I'm
we'll play with it next week.
We'll play on Saturday.
On one of our co-working calls.
Okay. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming live. I love these. So much fun.
I'm going to take a little break here and I will